Vice President Kamala Harris headlined a Democratic rally in Los Angeles today with a special message for voters.
I'm live at the polls talking about how this California storm is affecting voter turnout.
And Mayor Eric Garcetti visited the LA Natural History Museum to thank the community for their water-saving efforts.
Annenberg TV News is next.
UCLA! Oh, it's good to be home. It's good to be home.
Vice President Kamala Harris is in Los Angeles tonight, campaigning for mayoral candidate Karen Bass. Hi, I'm Jeffrey Lee.
I'm Bailey Harrison. Midterm elections are just hours away. Harris was at a rally at UCLA and encouraged everyone to vote.
We're here to work. We've got a day and a half to see this through, get this done, and elect the next mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass.
UCLA students piled into the Luskin Conference Center for Democrats' last push to get young voters out to the polls. We spoke to students about the power of voting and why young people should especially be turning in their ballots.
I mean, I think it's really easy to feel disempowered given the state of affairs in our country right now, but I think it's so important to remember that in large part that it feels that way because so few people do turn out to vote.
Here it's like Monday before the midterms. Why do they have this election for students, you know? And I think it's because they are expecting students to go out and vote and do something, right? To me it seems like a plea of desperation.
Today, developer Rick Caruso campaigned in the San Fernando Valley. He spoke with small business owners and residents about the impact of homelessness and what he plans to do to reduce the number of unhoused people. A spokesperson for the Caruso campaign said, quote, Rick's campaign is powered by Angelenos, not politicians from Washington, D.C.
Rainy, cold weather could have an effect on voter turnout here in California. As you can see on this map, rain is expected in coastal and valley areas, as well as the foothills and mountain. There's also a risk for a flash flood, watch and burn areas. Residents may not be prepared for a stormy election day. Reporter Liza Monasebian, has more from the polling location at Vermont Elementary School.
This elementary school is one of several voting sites that's located near campus. It's been raining on and off all day today, but voters are still showing up to vote. They have until 7 o'clock tonight to cast their vote, and the poll site will open back up again tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. The cold temperatures and rainy weather are unfortunately coming at a time when people need to go out and vote. The heaviest showers are expected to arrive on Tuesday, right when the California elections will take place. Forecasters say to prepare for this stormy weather for the next couple of days. We spoke with an assistant registrar in El Dorado County about the steps taken to make sure that regardless of the circumstances and weather, voters are still able to vote.
We're hoping that the weather does not discourage voters to get out and vote. We have generators being deployed out to them so that they can continue working. We've identified certain vote centers that may have connectivity issues, and we have come up with a contingency plan in case that happens. So we're ready for it.
Just a reminder that voters have until tomorrow night at 8 p.m. to vote in person or to place their ballots in a drop-off collection box. For Annenberg Media, I'm Liza Monasebian. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Liza. Need a ride to a polling center tomorrow? Well, you're in luck, because the Los Angeles Metro and rideshare app Lyft are offering free rides. Reporter Christina Liu is here now with more. Christina?
Jeffrey, Lyft has partnered with the YMCA of Metropolitan Los Angeles to offer free rides to polling centers today and tomorrow. Use code YLAXVOTES22 to get up to $20 off one way, valid for 2 rides. Lyft users nationwide also get 50% off their ride tomorrow by using the code VOTE22 during voting hours for a discount up to $10. The LA County Metro is waiving fares on all buses, trains, bike shares, and Metro Micros from midnight tonight to midnight tomorrow. The yellow pins on the map are Dropbox locations only. The USC Village is the closest for most students, and it is located right by Target and Trader Joe's. The green pins on the map are in-person voting and ballot drop-off locations. One of the closest locations is at Vermont Avenue Elementary School. Make sure to tune in tomorrow night at 7:30 for our live election night coverage at youtube.com/Annenberg Media. Be sure to get out and vote if you haven't already done so. Back to you, Jeffrey and Bailey.
Thanks, Christina. Students had an extra hour to get to class this morning. Daylight savings is officially done for the year. 48 states and Washington, D.C. returned to standard time. The time change means earlier sunrises and sunsets in cities and towns across the country. The debate about making daylight savings time permanent has been going on for years. Some studies suggest falling back and springing forward every year can cause health problems.
Standard and back is a kind of mini jet lag. So it upsets your normal 24-hour rhythm.
Things like drowsiness and increased rate of heart attack for a few days, stuff like that, that's associated with the sort of shock to the system that you have. But again, this is much more associated with the spring than it is with the fall, even though there are, you feel it. But this is going back on the sort of natural time where noon is closer, solar noon, when the sun's overhead, is closer to our clock noon and our associated schedules.
Back in March, the U.S. Senate passed a bill that would make daylight savings time permanent starting next year. The House has not approved the measure. We asked students how the time change is affecting them.
I already wake up really early, like I would wake up at 5, so now I'm waking up at like 4, and I'm just starting the day up at 4, so I'm getting at least an hour and a half to 2 hours of less sleep every night, but oh well.
Last night, I got tired a lot sooner, and it got darker a lot faster, so I also was a lot less productive in the night than I usually am.
Kind of just like thrown off my rhythm a bit, my sleep schedule, but honestly, I've also appreciated the extra hours.
Most students we talked to seem to dislike the time change and are hopeful that the Sunshine Protection Act is passed. The House currently has 15 days to pass the act. Only time will tell.
Since the summer, Californians have been asked to take shorter showers and replace their lawns with turf in an effort to conserve water. Today, LA Mayor Eric Garcetti announced these efforts are making a difference.
I want to say to Angelenos, thank you, thank you, thank you. This year, we saw another extended drought. We said, let's see how much further we can go. We've saved over 2.3 billion, that's with a B, gallons of water as a result. And if you want to know what that feels like, that's about the equivalent to have an Expo Park metaphor, about 900 plus coliseums full of water saved.
Mayor Garcetti joined Councilmember Mitch O'Farrell and executives from the LA Department of Water and Power at the Natural History Museum to announce record summer water savings. He says between June and September, LA residents saved nearly 6 billion gallons of water. Birth control might become much more accessible. California Attorney General Rob Bonta is leading a 21-state coalition to urge the FDA to approve the sale of an over-the-counter contraceptive. If successful, the pill known as O-pill would be the first sold in the U.S. without a prescription. Now that the Supreme Court removed a woman's right to end a pregnancy, some fear women could also lose the right to prevent one. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel supports FDA approval of the O-pill, saying, quote, "This over-the-counter pill provides an important advancement in access to birth control for millions of women, especially Michigan women who, since the Dobbs decision overturning Roe v. Wade, remain in a holding pattern with regard to their bodily autonomy."
Is incredibly safe, can be provided over the counter without a prescription, without the need for an appointment with a provider, will help kind of generally destigmatize reproductive health care, which is something I think we especially need right now post Dobbs.
Governor Newsom joined Democrats in Long Beach this weekend to support Proposition 1, which would add reproductive rights to the state constitution.
One of Hollywood's favorite artists canceled 3 shows in LA this week. We spoke to fans about their reactions.
Do you have Powerball fever? The lottery jackpot is at an all-time high. We spoke to buyers about what they would do with the money.
And we have a special live guest tonight. The president of USC's only student-run orchestra gives us the inside scoop on their upcoming show.
Worried your friend's struggling but don't know how to reach out? You could say how are you or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could write them a text or knit them a sweater. If you can't be together, you could write them a letter. Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking. You could chat on the game, kick off your flip-flops. You could ask on your couch while you binge watch. However you do it, you gotta ask a friend. And if they don't share, you can ask again. Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking. There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Harry Styles canceled his show over the weekend due to a, quote, banned illness. It was later announced that Styles is the one who's sick with the flu. Harry Styles was scheduled to play 15 nights at the Forum in LA. Fans were devastated by the announcement on Friday that 3 sold-out shows were canceled just hours before he was set to go on stage. But don't worry, they're rescheduled for late January, and fans here at USC shared their thoughts about the news.
Well, immediately I dropped to the floor and called my friends I was supposed to go to the concert with.
I was like really sad. It was something that my roommate and I have been looking forward for a long time.
And I was like, oh no, my heart just sank. The important part is that Harry is going to hopefully feel better by then and we'll get to enjoy the concert soon enough.
Fans affected by the news will have to keep daydreaming until January. Even though they'll have to wait a little longer, they're still going to have a golden time.
The effort to unionize a North Hollywood strip club hit a snag today. Strippers at the Star Garden Topless Dive Bar voted to unionize, but their management is prolonging the process by disputing if those who voted actually work for them at all. The strippers protested for better working conditions for 7.5 months. If unionized, they would have been the first and only union strip club in the U.S. in over a decade, and would have also been the first group of strippers to join the Actors Equity Association, which traditionally represents theater actors. We spoke to people at the event.
I think that the moment for strippers and dancers to have union representation in a workplace that's often more dangerous than the workplaces I go into because of the stigma of the industry that they brought up at our first meeting. I thought it was definitely something worth pursuing. It just felt right.
The minor setback, the group treated what happened today as a victory nonetheless.
The Powerball jackpot reached a record high of $1.9 billion after no winning tickets were sold in Saturday night's drawing. The $1.9 billion would put the winner in a wealthy club comparing checks with Rihanna, Kim Kardashian, and Jay-Z.
I don't know, man. In the billions, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, everywhere I've been to probably like 3 or 4 convenience stores, gas stations, and everyone's buying Powerball today. Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, it just went up that high not that long ago, right? And it's money. Take that risk and you make some money. So I just might. I'll give you some money. I'll give this place some money. Donate some money. And then, set yourself up for life. Why not?
The next Powerball drawings is set to take place tonight at 7:59. Live streaming at Powerball.com. If no one wins this time, the estimated jackpot's cash value will increase to $2.3 billion. Mikealla, do we got any more rainy days this week?
Yes, Bailey, the rainy days are coming, and it just feels like a couple weeks ago we were seeing temperatures in the hundreds. Now everyone's walking to school holding umbrellas. So let's pull up those current conditions so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Right now we're sitting at around 59 degrees. So make sure to go through your storage bins and pull out all your rain jackets and boots because the low temperatures are only going to continue. And we can see that as we pull up our 5-day forecast right here. The rainy trend, like I said, is going to continue into Tuesday, but things are going to start clearing up by Wednesday. However, it will still be cold and cloudy at 61 degrees. Now over here, Thursday and Friday are both sitting at 66, but look at the lows for Friday. Definitely bundle up if you're going to be going to the nighttime football game. And then we're ending off on a good note, clear skies for Saturday. That was all I had for you guys for weather. My name is Mikealla Wegner, and now kicking it off to Michael and Dylan with sports.
Thanks, Mikealla. Coming up on ATVN Sports, men's basketball starts up tonight, but who is going to lead the men at Troy this year? Women's soccer played the best game of the season, beating out our crosstown rivals. But how will they fare in the playoffs? And finally, homecoming was a success, taking down the Golden Bears. But thanks to Caleb Williams, the offense overshadowed their poor defensive performance. Stay tuned for more after the break.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Welcome back to ATVN Sports. I'm Dylan Brashier.
And I'm Michael Fiumefreddo.
Women's soccer finished up the regular season last Friday, shutting out the #1 team in the nation, UCLA, 2-0. With all odds against USC heading into their final match, they took the term fight on to the next level, showing up when it mattered most and made the Bruins pay. Goals from Kaylin Martin and Zoe Burns put the Trojans up by 2 within the 30th minute, and the defense stayed dominant, only allowing 10 shots on goal. Following their upset win, the Trojans will make their 9th straight postseason appearance as a #4 seed. For their first test, they will take on UC Irvine this Saturday at home. And taking a glance at next week, if they are able to take down Irvine, they'll face either Rutgers or Brown. A win in that match will take them to the top 8 in the 32-team bracket, so Michael, hopefully their season is far from over.
Definitely not, and because it's November 7th, it's officially been 1 month since their October 6th loss.
Wow.
This team's confidence is so sky high right now. They just took down the #1 team in the country by a mile compared to the other teams in the country. And then 2 weeks ago, their win against Stanford. Who can't they beat?
Exactly.
Well, USC football's homecoming game against Cal was a thriller, but the Trojans came out on top 41-35 thanks to Michael Jackson III. The sophomore receiver scored twice on 5 receptions for a career-high 115 yards. Caleb Williams continued his Heisman campaign with his 3rd 5-touchdown game in a row. Kalen Bullock snagged his 3rd interception, and Tuli Pelotu earned Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Week with 2 sacks. Dylan, this is the 7th 40-point game for this Trojans team this year. What's the problem? Why are they not being considered unstoppable right now?
It all comes down to the passing defense. If you look in the past 3 games, Arizona, Utah, Cal, we allowed 300, 400 passing yards in all the games, and that's really differencing us between us and other top 10 teams. But you were out there on the field recording. What did you see and notice?
I wasn't. What was so frustrating about it was the fact that every time I turned away, a big play happened. The Trojans are prone to those big plays. You know, they'll have a great first, second down, but then on third down, something will just change, and the team will be put in a bad situation. My theory is the offense is scoring so quickly and so often that the defense is getting tired just always being on the field.
Exactly, but we've seen this Alex Grinch defense notoriously at Oklahoma, allowing a lot of points, relying on the offense to win games.
Well, Lincoln Riley and Grinch did that in Oklahoma, so hopefully the same formula is going to play out here at USC.
That's very true. Not only did USC have trouble last weekend, but so did many other top 10 teams. With the season rounding out, we're seeing quite a few upsets. The biggest surprise of the week, Notre Dame pulled off a crazy performance against Clemson, winning 35-14. Alabama took their second loss of the season against LSU in a wild overtime, losing 32-31. And Stetson Bennett and Georgia silenced all doubters, stunning Tennessee 27-13 and securing their number 1 spot. Ohio State showed some concern, only beating a 1-7 Northwestern team 21-7, and C.J. Stroud threw for just 76 yards. Michael, with all these upsets and close calls, how does USC compare to other top 10 teams?
USC just doesn't have the ranked wins that other teams do. Right now, they currently have 0. And the problem is that's going to change for this Trojans team because over the next 4 weeks, they have 3 potential top 25 matchups. First up, UCLA on November 19th. They'll probably be a top 10 team by tomorrow. Then you got Notre Dame that just, you said, came off a big win against Clemson. They'll be ranked. And then move on to the Pac-12 championship if USC wins those 2 games. You either have an underdog story going up against Oregon or a rematch against Utah. So the chance for the Trojans to move up is definitely there. And we're just going to have to wait and see on that. But looking towards some other sports, we have women's volleyball that got their season back on track with their second sweep of the Arizona schools this season. Skylar Fields and Mia Tuanigo led the women of Troy to a 3-1 victory over ASU and a 3-2 win over Arizona on Sunday. Fields recorded 21 kills versus ASU and matched her career-high 27 against the Wildcats, while Tuaniga had her 5th career game with 4 or more aces that same day.
Men's basketball kicks off their season tonight at home against Florida Gulf Coast. With many stars either gone to the NBA or battling injuries, let's take a look at who will step up for the Trojans this year. For our potential playmakers, I believe in senior guards Boogie Ellis and Drew Peterson. Very experienced players who know this team. I know they can get it done. And not to mention big man redshirt junior Joshua Morgan. In the past, USC has relied on big physical players, so with him being the next man up, keep an eye out for his impact. Tonight's going to be a good one, Michael. What do you say?
It's going to be a fun game. I'm excited to see which Trojans are going to step up, if Drew Peterson or Boogie Ellis had a big improvement over the summer, and which new guys are going to step into the fold. That game's going to be on in just about a half hour, so why don't you say we wrap this up and head over to Galen Center to catch tip-off.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks for tuning in to your sports update. We'll pass it on over to Jeffrey with the rest of your nightly news.
Yeah, and up next we'll talk... Up next, we'll talk live here in studio with the concertmaster of USC's Student Symphony Orchestra.
Lávate las manos por 20 segundos como Elmo.
Hay algo especial acerca de este lugar. Se siente como un hogar, una sala debajo del cielo y los árboles. Rodeado de aire fresco y la naturaleza. Todo aquí para que lo disfrutemos y para que lo cuidemos. Tenemos la responsabilidad de cuidar de esta tierra que llamamos casa, de preservarla para las generaciones que vienen. Cada acción pequeña contribuye para un cambio mayor. y cada uno de nosotros podemos hacer la diferencia. Hay algo especial acerca de este bosque. Es un lugar donde se hacen recuerdos y juntos podemos preservarla y protegerla.
Welcome to Monday Madness, our new segment where we will be looking at the top 3 trending headlines of the day. Following the success of Ryan Murphy's show Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story, Netflix has renewed the series for 2 more seasons. The show is currently Netflix's second most watched series ever. However, the show is still receiving criticism from both the victims' families and the LGBTQIA+ community. Comedian Kathy Griffin lost her tweeting privileges after she used her Twitter account to impersonate the app's CEO, Elon Musk. She temporarily changed her account name and profile picture to match his. Following the suspension, Musk tweeted that any account that impersonates someone without a disclaimer will be suspended without warning. Don't forget to catch Tuesday morning's lunar eclipse. There won't be another one for the next 3 years. The moon will appear orange in color from the Earth's sunsets and sunrises. The blood moon can be best seen from 2:17 and 3:42 a.m. Now we have Jeffrey here with a live interview in studio.
Yes, so we have USC's Student Symphony Orchestra, which is a student-run group comprised of over 130 non-music and music majors. And we got to take a look into their rehearsal as they prepare for their fall concert, which happens on Sunday. And the orchestra aims to enrich the surrounding community by promoting equity, accessibility, and innovation in collaborative music making. Musician and orchestra president Emily Sue joins us to share more about the group. Emily, what can you tell us about the Student Symphony Orchestra?
Yeah, the Student Symphony Orchestra of USC, also known as SSO, is a fully student-run orchestra here at USC. We currently have over 130 active orchestra members, consisting of both music majors and non-music majors.
Fantastic. What's next for the group?
We actually have a concert this Sunday, which is going to be at 7 p.m. at the TCC Ballroom. It's open to everyone, and it's free admission.
All right, I'll be there. What pieces are you playing at the concert?
My 2 favorite pieces that we're going to be playing are Holst's The Planets and Marquez's Danzon No. 2, and we also have another 3 pieces that we'll be playing there as well.
That's great. Could you play something for us here?
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to play a little bit of The Planets, one of my concertmaster solos.
That was awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much, Emily. I thought for a moment I could see Gustav Holst's ghost there looking down with approval. But you can attend Sunday's concert in the Ronald Tudor Campus Center Ballroom free of charge. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. and the concert begins at 7 p.m. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Jeffrey Lee.
And I'm Bailey Harrison. For more coverage, watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Annenberg Media. Good night.